What up? Just drinking the cacao with a bunch of herbs. Some wild ones, some ancestral foods. And so today I wanted to do a video talking about ancestral foods, entheogens, drugs, hallucinogens, how this all connects. And so let's start off with asking ourselves, what is a drug? People say a drug is something that you consume and it alters your state of consciousness. And so if you're very thirsty, tired, you came back from a long hike or jog and you didn't bring water, you didn't bring food, and then you consume a glass of orange juice or eat a piece of watermelon or even just drink a cup of water, is your consciousness going to be altered after that consumption? 100%. And even if you're not in one of these extreme situations of thirst or hunger, whatever you consume alters your state of consciousness to some extent. And so is everything a drug? If we want to define drugs as things that alter your state of consciousness, then yes. There are other ways of defining what is a drug. So to me, I feel that things that are made in labs, things that are super artificial, super refined, that I can't cook up here in my kitchen without a bunch of crazy equipment, that these things are drugs. And so soft drink I see as a drug. Any packaged food with flavoring agents, coloring agents, preservatives, these are drugs. Cocaine is a drug. Pharmaceutical pills are drugs. We could go on in the list. Try to not get this video banned on YouTube. And so we can see that things are on a spectrum from natural to artificial. And the very artificial, we can interpret this as drugs. And the less artificial, more ancestral, more natural, these things are ancestral foods or more real foods. People talk about how wild edibles have a higher nutrient content, more nutrient dense than conventional hybridized foods. And so consuming something like broccoli is not going to nourish you as much as if you're consuming wild sage or wild morel or chanterelle mushrooms. And so the more ancestrally we eat, the less we need, the more we are nourished. And so my interpretation of psychedelics, entheogens, hallucinogens, which some people call them, which I'm going to explain to you why they interpret them as hallucinogens and why I do not interpret them as hallucinogens, or I guess it depends on your perspective. My perspective does not include them under a category of hallucinogens. So cannabis, San Pedro cactus, psilocybin mushrooms, ayahuasca, these are things that we consumed long before carrots and broccoli, even potatoes. And so they bring us back to a more ancestral state of being, and they connect us with this energy where we consume these things. And if we do it in a clear state of consciousness, not just going to a party and taking these substances, or just thinking I want to get fucked up, I want to forget about all this. If we actually do it with intention to better ourselves, better our health, understand where we came from, what we're doing, where we're headed, then these things, these substances, entheogens, plants, mushrooms, they can help us a ton. And so what happens when you don't take these substances with intention? You're going to a party or you're already drinking alcohol and you take these things. They show you the world through yourself, is what I've seen. And so if you are clear with yourself, if you have let go of lying to yourself and lying to others as much as possible, open your heart. The heart represents honesty in the chakra system. And so you will see your own clarity, your own openness through yourself, and things will be very clear when you consume entheogens, psychedelic plants and mushrooms. But if you have not let go of the lies, you have not done the internal work, then you will be lost in illusion. And you will see all of your own lies and very little clarity, and the experience will seem confusing and difficult to you. And maybe you'll have a bad trip. And so all of this to say that we can do whatever we want with anything. I give you a hammer and you can build a house, or you can kill someone. It's your choice. And so the same thing with entheogens. You can treat them with a lot of respect, put a lot of intention into them, and do the internal work where you're letting go of all of these bad energies, where you can see you're lying to yourself, and that this creates like blurriness looking out into the world, where you're you're attempting to manipulate the energies of others, their perception of you or their perception of something, by lying to them, when we know that this is not the case internally, that really we're saying this to people, and we're saying it to ourselves as well, and we are creating this false reality where people are doing things based on the words we told them, which we understand deeply do not represent the reality. And so we're manipulating the energies of others and manipulating our own energy and creating illusions for ourselves and for all those around us.